Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, let's take a look about the Forex market. In general, guys, yesterday was not really significant activity since all investors just now stand in expectation of non-farm payrolls release. The consensus forecast of the Reuters poll of the analysts expect to get 200,000 non-farm payrolls, maybe 200,012, somewhere about these numbers markets in general expect. So if we will get the greater number, that probably should lead to the appreciation of the US dollar, and simultaneously that will be the negative impact in the gold market. Well, that is what about the fundamental data. It's about non-farm payrolls. In general, the investors, due to the recent ADP report, has the positive sentiment of the today's data. So, and probably guys would not see any we will not see any activity since before it will happen. In general, guys, today it already was really the task to choose some currency for discussion, because I have checked across the board among the major currencies and very difficult to find something really interesting, except maybe Australian dollar, because you know that the governor of the Australian Central Bank has pulled down the Aussie, because he has said that investors underestimated the real risk of depreciation of the Australian dollar, and that has negative impact on the currency. And you can see that just right now the Australian dollar is falling right like the stone. But when the market stands in the fast motion, it's really difficult to find some short-term setup for trading, because we don't have any patterns, we don't have any clues, just markets falling and falling, and we need to get at least some minor pause before even to think about taking the position. That's why from the right now we just could talk about either Great British Pound or again about the Canadian dollar. As on the Great British Pound, as on the Loonie, it's really the setups that we have mentioned on the current week stands well, and on the Great British Pound, market is continuing to our action with the daily ABCD pattern and continuing to move up. And currently on the Great British Pound, I could say nothing but about retracement. So if we will get any retracement on the Great British Pound, we probably could try to take long position, because market still hasn't quite reached the target of the ABCD pattern on the daily chart, and probably it will do this. And the second currency pair that we could discuss that is more or less interesting is the Canadian dollar. The major thoughts on the Canadian dollar and some rumors that we have that now stand on the market, that Canadian dollar could be the good replacing for those investors who would like to possess themselves on the commodity market, but do not want to take the additional risk of the emerging economies. The Canadian dollar could be the nice replacement, and traders already talk about the possible inflow, that they see some new money that right now starting to arrive in the Canadian dollar, and we see the appreciation of the Canadian dollar in the recent weeks. So that's why I think that it could be really interesting. From the technical picture, guys, on the daily chart, we did not see much new. We said that this is really strong support in the short-term perspective, because that is the ABCD target of this pattern, ABC top, that creates simultaneously an agreement with the weekly FIB support. I just forgot to show you the starting point of this FIB support. I have promised you to do this. I just contract the chart, you will see. That is really significant area. It's better to take a look at the weekly chart, but you probably could see this. From this most recent thrust up on this really upward action has started. That's the 3/8 support. This really very significant level. That's major FIB support on the weekly chart. And that is also, guys, weekly pivot support one of the current week. It's a green line. Okay, so that's really nice support, really strong. And we expect to see some bounce up out from this area. The second reason why market could show this bounce stands not just due to the support, but the fact that market hasn't tested yet the July pivot point that stands slightly high. That's really possible. Here we do not see any patterns yet to be formed, maybe just some hint on the possible bullish engulfing of something of that sort, or piercing in the cloud. Probably it's better suitable for the current situation. It's a moderately bullish pattern, but it's too small. We need to get something more valuable here to possess ourselves on the long side of the market. On the 4-hour time frame chart, we see this retracement has started. That's, by the way, the monthly pivot point that I am talking about. It also coincides with the major 3-8 resistance, 107.7537 area. That's the 3-8 resistance from that top to this low, this major level. Also, this probably it's a bit wide for the confluence resistance, but it's really some resistance clusters: 618 resistance, 3-8, and the monthly pivot point. So if market will start retracement up, that's the most probable area where retracement should finish. Okay, if the short-term sentiment will not change drastically on the Canadian dollar in the nearest future. That's possible, but taking into consideration the turmoil in the Iraq, that's hardly possible. It's a very short-term perspective. So that's why if any bounce will happen, it probably will take the technical character and technical feature, and hardly will change really fundamental core of the current situation on the Canadian dollar. On the hourly chart, we didn't discuss this yesterday. Right now, we could see the hint on the possible pattern. So first of all, guys, take a look that this was the perfect double repo buy yesterday. This thrust down. It's a bit wide consolidation of the tops compared to the thrust, but in general, other terms of the double repo looks perfect. It's close above the double repo, close 3x3 moving average. Close below, close above this candle, and fast acceleration. So nicely looking short-term scalp double repo pattern. And here, guys, we could get the hint on the possible head and shoulder. So although the left shoulder you could see introduced by just small splash down, faster down dive and return right back up. But still, if market will show the retracement to the 1065 area, somewhere in this level, that could become the right shoulder where really upward action and upward retracement could start in the short-term perspective. But it's difficult to say whether it will happen particularly today, because tomorrow will be the holiday, it's Independence Day. Well, guys, I wish you the great holiday, so it will be a long holiday for 3 days. And I hope that you will spend your time very interesting. Well, most action we probably will get only when the US trading session will open. So let's see what will happen. But potentially, as the situation on the Great British Pound, as the situation on Canadian dollar right now stands very interesting and promising. Also, guys, let's hope that if non-farm payrolls release will trigger some active price action, active behavior, we will get some patterns or signals from the other currencies as well. So let's see what will happen.